Hola familia, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing what I promised you guys I was going to do, and that is my Pan That Face Palette 2022. If I were to choose out of all these, which one would I choose? So I have 10 face palettes in front of me. These are actual contenders, maybe, for the following year or for maybe throwing them in throughout next year. I don't know. I already have decided which two I want to pan for next year. They are not in this pile, but these were contenders as well, and they may replace one if I use it up or meet my goals. As you guys know, I always throw in a secondary palette throughout the year. So one of these may. So I still would need your help in choosing which one I would choose. So I am here to share that with you guys today. So if that is something that interests you, stay tuned. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash project pan. If that is something that interests you, subscribe, join us. And now let's get on with this hypothetical. All right, you guys, I had so much fun doing this for Pan That Palette that I wanted to do it for Pan That Face Palette, even though I kept calling it throughout the video Pan That Face Palette. I'm an idiot, I know. This is, if you're new, this is a series I do and I have done for the last 2 years on my channel. I am somebody who cannot pan an entire eyeshadow palette, so I thought, why not do a face palette, because I'm more committed to a face palette than I am an eyeshadow palette. So I have 10 contenders here. As I mentioned in the intro, I have already chosen my 2 palettes for 2022. You may or may not have already seen them, so they may not be a surprise to you, but I tend to finish a face palette, at least one out of the 2 face palettes, mid-year. So that means I need to pull in a secondary palette to go in, and I am planning and intending of choosing one of these 10. So you guys are here today to also help me choose which one of these 10 would be my secondary palette for next year. I am going to take your comments into consideration. So if you want to voice your opinion, leave which one of these 10 should I use as my secondary palette. I'm gravitating personally towards some of them, but you guys may be more wise, or you guys are wiser than I am. So you guys will definitely pick it for me. All right, in no particular order, let's just grab these. The first one I chose is this one. This is actually a duo, but because it's a face palette, in my eyes, it's more than one. That's why it's in my face palette collection. This is the Mally Effortless Airbrush palette, and it has peach blush and a highlighter. So as you guys can see, these are 2 right here. These are a gelée formula. So these will be a little bit harder, but I thought it'd be easy to pick a duo. Sometimes it's easier to pick these, but then again, it might be having a lot of product. I don't know. Oh, it has 5 grams of product. So that might be a lot. I don't know. But this is a contender. It's beautiful. You guys know I love my peach. I could use it as a blush and a highlighter, not necessarily as just one whole entire palette as one thing. So that might be something I might consider for next year. The second palette I chose is this one. This is my Makeup Geek Kathleen Lights. Now the reason why I'm choosing this is because it's getting old in my collection. I don't mind this formula. I'm okay with it. I can make it work. These colors, as you guys know, will work throughout the year. Because I get a tan rather easily, I feel like this one would work as a bronzer topper. This one in the winter time, and this one is throughout the whole entire year. This will probably be my color to go. I think this is a really nice one. It is old, but it's still working fine. And you guys can see that I've used it, but not abused it. So this is a contender for next year. Another one that I have is this one. This is my Fiona Styles multi-dimensional color palette. Now you guys know that Fiona Styles no longer does makeup, but this was a beautiful face palette, and I gravitated towards this one because it is 6 pans. I'm getting a bronzer, 2 highlighters, and 3 blushes. That's good enough for me to not get bored of having one solid product in a palette, and I think it'd be great. This brings a mirror, which is really nice. I've always been a fan of Fiona Styles' makeup when she had it at Ulta, and I have quite a few of her stuff. So this is something that I would think would enjoy. And this color right here, this purple blush, looks very interesting. I'm not afraid of it. It looks like fun. So, and you guys can see this is completely brand new. I've never touched this one. So I would like to get use out of it. I caught it. My fast reflexes caught it. Up next is one that I tried this year, rotating my collection. This is why I wanted to do that, to get more familiar with my collection and see what I would choose. And this is one of them. This is the Pixie Honey Nectar. This one's beautiful. I really liked it. When I played around with it, I liked it, and I understood the formula better. I could tell you that the bronzer and the blush would go rather quickly, and then the highlighters would take me a bit to use up, but I think it's beautiful. It's a little bit deeper, so in the wintertime, I would have a little harder time with these two, but I think with a light hand, I can make it work. And then in the summer, that's when I would really get more use out of it. But since it's 4 products in here, and it's a mixture of everything, I think it'll be fun to pan. So that's another contender. Maybe for my roundup, I don't know. Up next, this is no surprise. I mentioned it in a video this week that this will probably be in it, and this is my Tarte Off the Cuff palette. This was a round. I used this for a month this year, which was last month, obviously. And I got to fall in love with this, and I can feel comfortable enough to now pan it. This brings a bronzer, the Park Avenue Princess bronzer, and then 4 blushes, which I've used all 4, and I think I could do it. I don't think I could fully pan it, but I think I could really abuse this palette. So this is a contender. It all depends on how I feel after I am working on the 2 that I chose, whether I want to go with this one or something else. But this one is getting older in my collection too, so I want to get it used and abused before it officially dies on me, and then I feel bad throwing something brand new out. Next palette was a gift from one of you guys, and I want to show it love because this is something that you sent over to me, and why not? It's a beautiful palette too. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Palette. It comes only with 4 highlighters, so I know this has a cover on it. I'm sorry, you guys, and I'm probably blinding you guys. Let me take it off. Let me take it off. There we go. Okay, here we go. Is that better? So it comes with 4 highlighters here. I'm holding it on an angle so you guys can see it better. It's a white, which is called White Lily. Then we have Botanic Dream. Then it's Blossom Glow, which is a permanent one. And Crown Flower, Golden Crown, Flower Crown, which is also, these 2 are permanent and these 2 are limited edition. So it's a white, pink, the Blossom, and then the gold. But I can mix different shades to come up with something. Like I can mix the white to tone down some of these other ones. I can mix the pink with a little bit of the gold to come with like a peachy tone. I thought it'd be nice to use this one up, and it seems to be rather thin, so I don't feel like there's a lot of product in here either. 16 grams, but I don't think that's a lot. It doesn't feel like a lot. It does feel like a lot less than the actual ones that I own individually, but who knows? But this is definitely a contender. I actually, to be honest with you, I considered this one for this year, but then went for the Tarte one instead because I felt like the Tarte one had a cream product in it. So I wanted to go for that one instead of this one, but this one was this close. I mean, I changed it in the 11th hour before I sat down to film, but this one was a contender for. Up next, you guys, this is an oldie but a goodie. This is my Sephora Ombre Obsessions palette. This is a blush palette with a highlighter in the center. I have used this a lot. When I first purchased it, I used it a lot. And then I have pulled it out since and used it a lot. It doesn't look like it is used, but it is used. I can honestly say this is used. I love that I'm getting all these fun blushes, and even some that can kind of work as a bronzer, which is that new trend. You guys see the ombre thing? I can probably use that. This one's intimidating right here, but I could probably mix that. That's a nice purpley mauve tone. This is a pink, you know what I mean? Like I can see myself playing around with this and having fun throughout the year and not necessarily just sticking to a peach, which is what I tend to do. But it's really nice, and it is big, so I do want to see how big that is. I do want to get this out of my collection because it is rather big. So this is also a major contender. All right, 3 more palettes, you guys. Next up is this one. This is an Aesthetica Strobe series. This is from light to medium. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this. I bought this because of Miss Emily Noel. And these you can pop out if I want to. They're magnetized, so I can pop these out. But this is a highlighting palette, and I thought it needs to be shown some love. This is not a brand where it's very popular, but it's actually a decent palette to use, and I want to be able to use it more. Getting a white, these 2 that are like in the mid-range, and then you're getting this deep gold shade. But I think this is really, really pretty. So I wanna try this out. I am incorporating all blush palette, so why not incorporate all highlighting palette? Last two. This one is the Rach Loves by Pixie. This was gifted to me by my friend Lisa, and as you guys know, I love to show more of my gifted items more love, and I have never used this once. Honestly, it sucks, but I've never used this once. It's intimidating because of that purple, and then this one is super, super dark. But now that I've got more comfortable panning, now this is my second year panning face palettes, I think I can make this work. I think I can do some damage, and these two down here are huge, huge. So I can at least have the more used ones, like the ones that are gonna be used more as the bigger ones, to incorporate these with it. I wanna use this one, so we'll see how I incorporate this next year if it's not the one that I roll in mid-year. And last but not least, you guys, it is this one. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Collection with Whaley Hung, I believe is her name. This is a beautiful palette. Oh, can I take this plastic thing off? Oh. You guys, this has like 4 pieces of tape on it, so I am sorry. This is gonna take me 20 years to undo. So can you guys see it there without getting you blinded? This comes with 2 highlighters, 2 blushes, and 2 bronzers. And I think this would be beautiful. I love this because it is slim in its packaging. I'm still getting the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, which I'm not so much of a fan of, but this one doesn't have the scent to it anymore. So I'm actually happy about that. I'm getting blushes and I'm getting highlighters without having that bulky packaging. This is why I purchased this one, because it was on sale and I thought this was the best way to have the ones that I wanted without it being so bulky. So I would want to get use out of this. This is still brand new, as you guys know. Brand new, the seal's still on it. And it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I think that this would be so much fun. I have 2 options of 3 face products that I use all the time. So why not, right? Why not? So this is my last contender. Will it be the one? I don't know. You guys let me know. Alrighty guys, those are my 10 face palettes. I do not have any honorary palettes because my honorary palettes are the ones that I'm actually going to be choosing for 2022. But I want you guys to let me know, which one of these 10s would you choose to replace whichever one I finish next year? And that is being very bold of me to say, but I'm confident enough to know that I at least will finish one of my face palettes next year. Because it seems to be my goal every year that I finished 1. Last year I finished 1. No, actually I finished 3 last year. This year I finished 1. And next year I'm anticipating on finishing 1 out of the 2, and I will be rolling one of these 10 in. Let me know in the comment section. I will actually personally keep a tally, so when that time comes, I will bring out my list, let you guys know what you chose, and that will be my palette. So this is a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will have more videos on the screen for your enjoyment. Until then, adios.